So, oh my gosh, you guys. We are having technical difficulties, so we're going to apologize. Hey, the show has to go on, right? So, we generally have a question. After this live episode, she will start back on the DJing, doing about that. So, Dari, she's in the audience, y'all.
Hi, April. You guys look gorgeous today. And my question for today is, what was your first impression? Now, as you guys know each other more, what is your favorite qualities about each other?
You make it first. All right, you probably thought I looked like a bum the first time you met me. Because I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. That's a new idea. Did not cross my mind. So when we met, we were working. I was working at WTV. So I was working at WTV, and she was actually or performer agency. She's the agency. So we didn't say anything. We didn't say anything to each other. You took my call when I was like you're supposed to professionally. Yes, I did. I got in there. You handed us our paperwork. And they didn't think too much. No. And then like 2 hours later, we saw each other. I just walked through the door. I was like, what? What are you doing here? No, what are you doing here? Right. So, they say in many ways, things just, you can kind of tell who you're supposed to be connected. Those things where I was like, well, we must be supposed to be talking. So, and then the people who were actually supposed to be there was like 20 minutes late. She was like 30 minutes early. They were like 20 minutes positive because I knew she was like on time. And then, so we called her Joe at the agency. Joe is to your performers and to your actors. You kept saying, I remember you saying, oh, I don't play that. And somebody was late. Yeah. So I didn't even say my first impression. My first impression was, and I guess I gotta go. I kind of gotta go office, not necessarily at Disney, because I promised when we were working on the Disney stuff, I was like kind of like office though. Yeah, because I didn't think twice about it. But at the office, it was like about it twice. What is it? She just said she didn't think twice about me, y'all. I didn't. Oh. That's why I saw you. Twice. And then after that, we ended up setting a date to go to coffee. Okay. Yeah. And to see, we probably talk every day. Yeah. We're always working for it. So, So what you got? Answer the question. Oh, what was the second question?
What was your favorite quality?
I don't have to say. You want to go first?
Yeah.
My favorite quality is that she's passionate about everything she does and everybody else's stuff. But really big, and she's very supportive. That's my best quality that I have to say. And I'm actually thinking about this on the way here. You are good. Like a good person. Like I have good intentions, good, like all of that. She probably, in the sense of being good, like her intentions are good. Like I can't imagine saying do something dirty or do something. I think that's wrong for people. They don't go that way. I didn't go that way. So I'm glad. This is the first episode of season 2. On top of it being the first episode of season 2, we got our first. In addition to that, we have a special guest coming on today. We do. To talk about a topic important. So if you guys don't remember, last season we had a mental health conversation, and we kind of got we went from laughing. It was high, and then it was like, sure. We both almost cried. But it's lovely to be able to kind of bring other people into this type of environment. It's something that is real and true and happens every day. Different people have their different healing process. And while we're talking about the healing Uncensored. Okay. All right. I just love the answers, you guys. I was like, you were. She pulled me in. She was. Okay. I got you. Okay. All right. So let's learn about Miss Cheneka Moss. Yes. Cheneka Moss is originally from St. Louis, Missouri. She moved to Huntsville in 2004 to the university and graduated with a bachelor's in marketing in 2008. Cheneka graduated in professional counseling in 2018. She is currently the owner and lead therapist of Your Temple. Cheneka has one daughter, Carson, and a new fur baby, Oatmeal. Not the food. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. Additionally, she is the leader of the mental health department of her church, where they offer Christian counseling and focus groups for their youth department. Everybody welcome Cheneka Moss.
Well, so what you want to know about oatmeal? Oatmeal is our golden doodle. He is
Okay.
and we got him at 7 weeks. Yes.
Okay.
He's a puppy. His name is Oatmeal Pine Moss.
Oh.
My daughter named him when she was younger when it didn't happen. And so recently we got her a dog, and she reminded us. She said, "I want to name the dog that you guys want to get me when I was smaller." Oatmeal. So,
Okay. Yeah, she wanted this.
oh,
So how was the transition? Because we just got a dog too. Can't watch this.
how was the transition bringing Oatmeal in? At first he was nervous because for 7 weeks he was with his brothers and sisters and his mom and dad, breeder in New Market, and he kind of stayed. He found like his little safe food from it and things like that. He would get his crate, he would sleep outside, like he's excited when we come home. He knows his name. We're about to start getting him trained because he is wild and all outside. But he is a as emotional support for my daughter, and I believe she serves as emotional support for him because when he ran up to her first, so they kind of connected, you know, and she's like, yeah, but that's how the transition has been great though. I started getting dog fever too. Yeah, so I mean, when we went, it was really a blessing. We got him for free, and then he also stays with us for free at the park. It's been a great transition, something different. It is like another child. He wakes you up in the bathroom. He does have to be trained. Really sweet, excited. You know, we tell him we love him. He prays with us. But he's really sweet. The transition's been okay. Now the pooping, he's better. He's better. But a lot of washing, a lot of, so we have to like double time and stuff we already do. So it's been a pretty good transition.
I don't have no dog.
No dog. What kind of dog do you guys have?
So we actually went to the and so I have this thing, and I feel like all dogs need love, even the older dogs and hurt dogs. I don't really want a dog with trauma because I don't know. I would rather have a dog that I can train from. Yeah. So we went there, and we probably didn't ever find anything, and we happened to go in, and there was one dog. I believe he was 2 months old. I fell in love with him instantly. Now that he's at home, it's another story.
Take him out of there. It's different.
Oh, he's so excited. Like, he's so excited. He will jump and hit himself on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like,
Is he running?
I think because he was straight for a little bit, he eats the grass. Like, you know, I keep trying to tell you, you don't have to eat the grass. We got you. So,
all of it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess since I'm in that age where my
kids are older and they no longer want me. It's nice to have a puppy that when I'm going, right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So how did you get into mental health?
So, my bachelor's is in business marketing, totally off the side. I went, didn't finish them, didn't, they weren't me. So I started a marriage women's ministry, and we would meet weekly. We would talk about various topics. They would pour into me, I would pour into them. And I was at church one Sunday in the counseling program at Liberty University, which is where I went online. And I looked over everything and I said, this sounds just like me. So I started the program, and it just kind of like that. I guess I just always had an ear for listening to people. They always talk to me about a lot of things. I just sit and listen. I have friends that confide in me, and it doesn't go anywhere. So that's how I got into it. It just kind of, so yeah, absolutely. Kind of walked into purpose, so to find, okay, what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And so it kind of found me.
So what's like a trend when it comes to counseling? Is there like a specific demographic?
Yes. So I thrive in crisis and trauma. A lot of my clients that I had even started out as a novice counselor, job in 2019, and a lot of my clients dealt with a lot of trauma, behaviors, hallucinations, suicide threats, things like that. I noticed that I'm calm in those situations with them, listening to a voice in front of me, and I'm just calm talking to the voice with them. Things like that for me. So crisis and trauma is where I thrive.
And I know we need to get into this, but how do you separate Cheneka, a lot of times, which we even talk about in the world of acting, in the world of any type of coaching, and sometimes you can kind of take on what other people, how do you separate?
I try not to take my work home with me. I try really hard because sometimes you get those clients that pull on your heartstring. Like, gosh, I really want to do more for them, but there's a boundary that I have to set. I have to do a lot of self-care, and I try not to, when I family time. And I remember when I started to kind of slip into therapy time. I said, do you feel like I'm doing therapy with you when I talk to you? She said, yes. I said, oh, do that. Let me be her mom and not try to be her therapist, because she treat me as such when I try to get, trying about certain things. So for me, a lot of therapy is, and I set boundaries with my clients. There's a certain time my phone cannot ring every night at the same time. I try to set those standards for myself.
And that I talk to him about the business.
You're always coaching me. It can be really challenging to try to separate. You have to work hard at it, because that's a different type of segment to know Cheneka, for Cheneka, not when I go around my friends, oh, here comes Cheneka question, we'll be sitting here crying with tissues, you know what I'm saying? I want them to know that I'm still my goof at. Now, if we want to have a serious conversation, we will, but I still, even if I don't want to just be a listener, I'm going to offer you my opinion because you're my friend. Now, in therapy, I can't be biased, so I have to take it. It's hard to switch, sometimes it's not.
Right. Is that something you got to get used to? It's not a healing process. So we actually last year, I released a book, Putting Back the Pieces. I almost forgot what it was called. Where we talked about, we went trauma or different levels of things that, you know, we went through and then we went, have dealt with it or are dealing with it. A lot of times there are through growing up or in our lives that still trigger how we interact now. So in the terms of healing, what type of advice would you give someone who is there, they need to go through healing and get to the next level? And that could be someone who either it is that's triggering them or someone who is complete denial of needing the healing.
Okay, so let's say for someone who, so I actually literally just had a conversation like this yesterday. Know what it is that's triggering you. Recognize what's going on when that trigger is happening. For instance, I hear a fire alarm, and it triggers me back to when I was 9 years old, my third degree burn, things like that. Notice what's happening when that goes on, because it's not the emotion that goes with it. And so when I'm dealing with someone who actually, we got to recognize what all the triggers are. It's a fire alarm, it's somebody, it could be the way this woman wears her hair because it reminds me when I was little. It could be anything. So first, just recognizing what those triggers are. Step is learning coping skills when those triggers are happening. So if I hear, I probably need to take a deep breath and understand, separate the past from what's actually. So when this fire alarm is going off, okay, I need to take a deep breath. I need to understand that I need to get grounded. It's just a fire alarm because somebody in the house may be on fire or like that. Put yourself in reality instead of the past. Work on your coping skill there, and then journal it too. So let those emotions out, because sometimes triggers make you have it. Now, for those of us like myself in the past who have been certain triggers, it takes certain situations for you to understand what's going on. If someone is constantly reaching out for advice about certain things, the denial is starting. Yes, because I really want to know what's going on with me, but I'm afraid to be vulnerable, and the ability has to happen first when it comes to someone who's in denial. Now, I can say it to you 1,000 times over, and sometimes it's like, it can be like the deal. It takes someone actually being vulnerable and saying, you know what, this is what's going on. So many people, you really can't pull it out of them. So it has to be just like we're going to therapy. It has to be something that you want. Up to me and you are in and out about your triggers, I'm definitely going to talk to you about what's going on, but you got to get to a place where you have to accept it. This goes through. And then the healing process can start. So accept.
Now, do you feel like there's more? So let's look at an agent. I know my kids probably hate it because I talk about them all the time. That's the whole point of y'all having them up. My kids went through a phase. They don't do it so much anymore, where everything was, if they didn't want to, they're messing with my mental health, like everything, right? So, and she's like some quote. It's not man. It would be like go to school and yeah. Okay. Do you see more of the millennial, or even before the millennial? I can't remember what they're called, or the now generation. Do you feel like need more in the sense of their time?
I want to say both.
All, because even saying like even you know,
I'm gonna say all because get past that. Okay, so here's my shameless plug here. my shirt says maintain generational wealth. We always want to pass down wealth and money and trust to our, but what about passing down peace to them by getting yourself together first? They'll get on the right track. What about getting rid of your trauma, or so that if your child experiences anything similar to you, you know how to help them. I see a lot of strained relationships between mother and daughter, father and son, mother and son, fathers, brothers, even just friendships. Some people don't know how to maintain relationships because we call them, of course, we call them generational curses. But how about we just pass those things down? Mother hasn't gotten it together from the past. The rest of the family, it's hard for them to get it together. Talk about our generation now is that like our age group, we're like really honing to get a therapist. Men, women, even children. I'm going to get a therapist now because I don't want to growing up, and that's me personally. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to I don't want to have that door shut to where I'm not vulnerable for love or give my daughter the love that she needs. So I decided to work on me so that I wouldn't be broken somewhere. So I'm just going to say everybody.
Well, because there was a point in breaking that barrier where you couldn't talk about it. It was considered, like something was wrong with you, or if it happened in the house, it stays in the house. That doesn't mean y'all gonna tell everything that happens in your house. It just means that it just means that you need to be okay talking about it. Like it is important to hold it in. It's just you dealing with it.
Yeah, because if my daughter was touched, I'm not going to keep it in the family. I'm going to call the police and we're going to take care of this. That's the in this family. Happens in this family. And that's what happens. That child gets silent. They may be talking, but they're very silent. And that silence is very loud. I'm for help, but I can't because the people who were supposed to protect me did not. So I to even protect me, themselves, because I was already hurt within the family. We have to get away from that. And I think what's happening is we're starting to get away from that.
We are now. Like growing up, let my mama say something. I love you. But and what she said, that's what it is. We're kind of moving more where I still tell them, y'all can address me if I'm mad at you when I'm not mad. Then come tell me like, hey mom, I don't like how you handled that, or mom, you said you blame me for this and I didn't do that, because whoever made up the don't get stressed out, they must have never been a kid.
Or something. Right. You say your child says, hey mom, you hurt my, please apologize to your children.
Oh, I
to your children. I will find myself apologizing to my daughter, and what it does is so even if they have to go to therapy, they understand what validation and feelings. Maybe go to therapy for just maintenance. I'm stressed at work and everyday life. You don't always have to have trauma. So their feelings have already been validated at home. So now they know how to freely express themselves. What's kind of messing with the young generation now. They don't know how to freely express themselves because they're not validated by their family. All of them, but just some.
That's definitely true. We wasn't allowed to. I mean, I think as we got older, it took her a minute. She got to the point where she was like, all right. But it took a while. But my mom, I'm saying that was just really how it was, especially in the Black community.
What I say goes, and do as I say, not as I do. That's it.
I'm an adult, so as you said, we talk about mental health. I do not have it all together mentally, and if you feel uncomfortable with an adult telling you something you're not supposed to be doing, and they
I let you call me.
Come get me. Right? Because,
Oh, listen. Yes,
we have to still recognize.
some adults don't have it all. People are crazy.
And so before you transfer all that to my situation,
Immediately. So
and then we
they
as
got-
adults have to realize we don't always have it all. We
It's
but
just
not like
that.
That's it. It's an accountability. It's an accountability thing. That's why
If you can, and you know that you're wrong, just apologize to your kids.
Right.
It'll help.
as they grow up, they don't always have to be right because they grow up thinking, okay, well, mommy was always or daddy was always this. You help them recognize that okay, they did make mistakes. I make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to tell my daughter not too long ago. She was bent on not for me to move out. 18 came, she said, Mom, can I stay? I never told you anything. So you're gonna go on break. So we will see you after these messages.
Talk Uncensored Season 2 podcast has some great additions from special guests, topics, and a live audience.
And we are beyond excited to invite you to our live studio audience. We can't wait to see your reactions and hear your feedback to our topics.
To reserve a seat, head over to talkuncensoredpodcast.com.
And we are back. Akayshia, Estee.
And I'm April Hogan, and you know we have our special guest, Cheneka. Sorry, I said it. So, you guys know our next topic, how long is too long to date? Now, we actually have a Facebook group called Talk Uncensored Group. We have been putting some of our conversations in there. And this was one of the ones that got a whole, right? So, we are going to kind of dive into that. Occasionally, we're going to talk about some of the comments that were made in there, and then we're going to do some opinions. So when I say that, right, I'm thinking like, how long is too long to date before marriage? How long is, okay, this if we're not going somewhere else, you know, if this is the deuces, or like, so
It's the time frame. No, we're not going to be holding this thing. No.
I'm with you on that.
No, it's time, 6 months, but it's a time frame. I got a time frame.
Okay, so
About a year and a half, 2 years is what you got. Now, we done known each other. Either you like me or you don't. You want me or we can just go ahead and call it. Want this back. Somebody is going to want to put my last name. So you better get to it. Answer questions. She answered that.
oh, you're on that.
But we talked about that.
So how long is too long, or is it?
I
think over 2 years is a long time. I used to want to wait that long. In like the first 3 to 6 months, you should really like, you like this person and stuff. But with that, I think if it goes over maybe a year and a half, it's about that time.
No, what puts this time, like what time frame at all? But what puts that time frame on it? Like what says, within, me and my husband have been together for 2 years. We got married after 3 years. You say, well, you should know each other by now. We still trying to figure it out. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you are ever
For 3 years and been married for 15. I'm sorry, 3 months and married for 15. Cool story. But everybody doesn't have that.
right.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. My attitude because going back to it, people are still working on themselves too.
You're always going to be trying to
True.
different things are going to change. You're going to grow. Things are going to change. So, a year.
She said 2 years too long for us.
2 years left.
Now it is. Within like the first year.
Yeah.
I'm at an age where I really know what I want.
What they want, they drag out.
Especially when you're younger. After a year and a half, my daughter was dating marriage. but okay.
About 2 years. I wonder if it comes with age though.
I would
Because,
think
like in the for like 4 or 5 years, and then you get married because you're still trying to find yourself out. Now we 3 years from 40. Let's get this ball rolling. What we doing?
Well, this side people would
Yeah,
but they
it's
make it like, you know what?
Because I've been married once before, so I know what I don't want. I've worked on myself, and okay, so now I got to see what, and we're gonna be compatible.
I'm gonna say for me, honestly, I don't know. I feel like it depends on the person. In the sense of, I feel like we did 3 person than it was. Because in some situations, I could probably never see it.
What was it? What did you say?
Ooh. I feel like someone who was bent on the right person can shift that. I mean, some people may think different. So I don't feel like there's an attack. I feel that how I feel about marriage. Okay, so no, actually, before we even get into that, they kind of started talking about, because I remember it because I kept reading it in like, so talking about, hey, after a certain amount of time, you better know that you want me. I think something like that. But that means you think so there was like, so, and you said something about commitment. That's that, right? And then the comment was, so is marriage or something like that?
I think it was the other lady that said something about it.
Well, yeah, she said something. He said something about there we go. The most serious. She said the most you have. And then I need to see this.
Oh, no.
That's yours. That's not it. It was a short one. Listen, we can't find it. It has something to do with does marriage remember the comment?
Basically, it was saying, does marriage, the commitment, and somebody was saying that's the ultimate commitment.
Right. Yeah. This is
Love,
what the lady said.
like, does marriage equate commitment
Right.
and the ultimate love, or the showing of that? Basically.
Right. So we're gonna answer. So does marriage, in your opinion, does marriage equate to commitment? Meaning, like now now that we're married, that means we're showing that's. What is your opinion? Like, what is it that says that the end game is marriage?
I don't know. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. What is it that's
Marriage is the thing that says, like,
it's
where
what it is?
yeah,
Like that I want to, that I do.
right. Well, just in general, you know how we're saying, like, if it's a year or two, and now I'm gonna move on to somebody who wants me. So, what is it? Why? How does it make that?
What is it about love? I mean, what is it about marriage itself that says we or I am committed to you and this is to them?
I think for me, it's the unconditional part. A person who just accepts for me, I can be myself, my ride or die. This is the person I want to like them too, so they're like my best friend. That's what like solidifies it for me to marry this person. I guess if I'm asking.
But do you feel like you could still have that? Would feel like someone could still love you that much without?
Yeah, because all that built and solidified before you even marry someone. Like I can't just be like this and then I love you. Now I want to be your best friend. You gotta establish all that stuff before you. At least that's what I.
So then I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and you don't want you to answer too. So that, and I believe in marriage. Y'all are married. if you all that and get all that from somebody, even without it,
I don't know what you're saying.
then after a year and a half or 2 years, I'm not doing anything. You don't want to get married.
happened, and I've been taking care of you. If somebody think they finna come in, and I done had your back. I got this. So real. No, I need to know that I have access to be able to say certain things to make sure you straight come in. Or if you're on your deathbed and they saying, oh, well, you know, you got this percentage to live, and I believe that you got person saying, well, no, I want to pull the cord. No, my husband. But I get the last word, and if I want him to stay here for a little bit,
No, and vice versa, because he could be ready to go. Somebody else is trying to hold on to him. You say, I'm not my husband's way.
tell me to do X, Y, and Z, I already know what to do. I don't need nobody else trying to control what we already set in stone, whatever the case may be.
So marriage solidifies that partnership.
Yeah,
for
like
you on another's behalf.
yes.
You know. So like I was saying, my
So if I
ride
can trust
die,
you,
go.
if I can trust you.
So my thought pattern is, and I say this, marriage is a business. Back in the day, it's really all it was. That you were getting married for a reason, for a business agreement. It says, I care for you here in life while we're together, but I also care for you while we're gone. Make sure you're good while we're gone. But that only applies if you got something to leave me other than dead. You know? So I'm curious. The thought pattern behind the thing of the I want to be able to make the decision in your life. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like it is a business transaction. One, you got to go get a license to do so. Pastors, before they even marry you, have to go through consultation. So same thing. Aspect of making decisions, that's why they have power of attorney. So you don't have to be married to be able. They just can assign power of attorney over to you. That way you can make decisions. And if you have something to leave aside that, and you're there, you can do it. Living will and testament. You want that person to have, they can have it. If you gain stuff over time, you go and update. If you're going through that process to do that, then marry all in
One. Yeah.
Marriage doesn't, I'm going to love you to them. I'm going to be committed to you. Marriage is supposed to be what she said. Because we have,
Right.
let's go ahead and get married. So that when something something does happen, operate and function as partners, if you are not a coherent or whatever, you can't make decisions. You can incapacitate, you can't make decisions. Like the question you asked, how long should I wait before I get married? But nobody is saying we are building this bond. How long should it be before we are not compatible or complementary to one another? Because you're not always, but are you complementary? And nobody is talking about bondage, being bonded. Nobody's talking about being complementary. Nobody's talking about being friends and best friends. They're talking about this, and my purpose is marriage. You got a year and a half before you decide.
Say this, I did transit, well, after the last, I decided to do the friendship part first. So like, oh, hey, we might can do this, because it allowed me to actually get to know them, trying to put on a front.
The representative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we friends first.
No. Yeah.
It's just really awkward.
I like what you said about the purposely dating because I want to get married. And I remember where it was after the wedding comes the marriage. After you have this big granddaddy and everybody's to get married, now you got to sit in this marriage. So what did you do leading up can operate as a team? Right. If you didn't build that bond and got married. So sometimes it just kind of crumbles.
Yeah, I can about to tell about first conversation was.
That's a good question. How long do you wait before you realize somebody is not compatible with you?
I don't know.
That is a really good question.
Yeah. And then, like, I don't know. Have you ever been in a situation where someone else thinks they're compatible with you? And it's like, it almost feels like if we're really compatible, we should go. Feel the shape of that.
That's only if you know yourself, and you oftentimes we're not putting ourselves in a position for somebody to know who we are. Because and when you're not compatible, sometimes other people can see it in you, and you don't see it in yourself to be who you fully are. So you never really allow them or to be fully what it should be.
Well, and then sometimes people just want to be compatible. And they just
Ain't got nothing in common.
All right, so good conversation. We actually gonna have him on the show. I'm super excited about it. But we're getting ready to go for a break, and when we come back from a break, we want to hear from some others. Songs too long, and this whole dating conversation. And we'll see you after these messages.
Are you interested in being a guest on Talk Uncensored? Head over to talkuncensoredpodcast.com and fill out a guest application. We want to hear your story and involve you in our topics, unfiltered and uncensored.
How prepared are you to cover unexpected expenses in a hardship? 60% of Americans have less than $1,000 to spend on out-of-pocket expenses. When an unexpected hardship arises, normal everyday expenses can become hard to manage. During these times, you can count on Hardship Safeguard. Hardship Safeguard provides cash benefits to pay expenses in an unexpected hardship, business decline, or loss of wages. See how we can help protect your family and business.
Talk Uncensored Season 2 podcast has some great additions from special guests, topics, and a live audience. And we are beyond excited to invite you to our live studio audience. We can't wait to see your reactions and hear your feedback to our topics.
To reserve a seat, head over to talkuncensoredpodcast.com.
And we are back. So, welcome back to Talk Uncensored. I'm Akayshia,
Estee.
And I'm Cheneka.
And we have been talking about how long to date, whatever that means, in so many different ways. We've had some people, we had Jabri Lyrics, he's came in and gave his opinion. And we actually have a Talk Uncensored Facebook group. We have these conversations inside the Facebook group, whatever we're going to talk about on the show. And you guys, it's very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So before we went on break, we had an audience member. You had some. Okay, so this is one of our young audience members that wants to say something about that. And what is your
comment? I agree with what Cheneka said, because she said you kind of realize quicker what you want and what you don't want in a relationship. So I think minimum, my personal opinion is minimum 3 years to be with someone for them to date me and not marry me. Maximum, I say long. Not too long. 3 years is like minimum.
Oh, like a big
It's a max. It's a max. I mean,
It's the max.
oh, 9 is too
Nine
long. 9 is too long.
It's the max.
9 is too long. That's just my comment. And my question is, I feel like you guys, my personal opinion, uncensored, is that you guys' time is so short. How do you guys do y'all want in a year? In just a year. 6 months at that, because y'all said 6 months.
So at a younger age, I probably wouldn't have. And if I thought I did, it would have been based on I just want to see, you know. Now at this age, it's because you've already been through so. It's like, look,
you can almost see the red.
these couple of things you gotta kind of check off. You know, we were really taught fairy tale wise, we shouldn't move in. But then how do you really get to know? Woo! How do you really get to know? I mean, without living with them, because they can hide.
The time you spend together too. Because I mean, at some point you guys probably gonna stay and something like that. So,
Yeah,
that's true. And you'll be able to see some like little. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta kind of go with it and because, like you said, as things change.
Yeah.
You get to voice your opinion about certain things. Like, hey, I don't like mine on the floor. Stuff that shouldn't blow up and be so big, but
Right. Oh, yeah. I seen them.
that is a huge question. Together first. So.
Right. So and then it also matters, like you shouldn't be ready to be married. Because I feel like that's too much time.
It's a lot of time.
You know a lot. Too much. Right. Too many hours in a week. Let me see you. What's that?
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? So, like some folks that what's that show we used to watch? Maybe one be in Spain and one be in America. And y'all know. I know what it is. Oh no.
I mean, you haven't got the smells, the hygiene.
Over the phone, and then you go over there to Honduras somewhere because you want to look at, and they ain't even live in huts.
Now y'all here.
And you mad because you done gave up your life. I'm just saying in general. You done gave up your life over there. So
No, I do feel like it is important to actually build a physical. I don't mean that kind of physical, but a face-to-face connection. Like
you got that.
hard to know somebody. It's hard to know somebody and you see them all the time.
Yes, they can hide so well.
They can
We all do our customer service voice on the
listen
phone.
all the time. So you have to, with red flags, but sometimes we can be blind to those things.
Well, because we really want the love, we want the person, we want the marriage, we want and are willing to just whatever for it. And then we get in it, we're like,
Oh, but you know what I can tell you?
she walked up there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna say it.
Okay.
The comments in the group.
She said, I remember.
I'm curious what it is now.
Then I can't remember now. It was for.
We always say it's unscripted, you guys. Because it's literally unscripted. It'll come, she sees it every day.
It was really good advice. I'm gonna tell you, it was really good advice. Everybody lived like that.
I did too.
I did too.
Hear it.
It was good advice, and I can't even remember it. I'm sorry,
I
y'all.
bet you as soon as she walks in. So anyway, how long is too long? I guess it's really not a, it's almost when you know, and then it depends on the person.
The energy.
Yeah. I do feel like,
I know what it was gonna be.
what was it?
The younger generation express themselves within the relationship. So when you get older, your wants and your needs, and that's how you know
That's
whether it's
true.
gonna work or not.
Like, can you
That's
feel
what,
it?
yeah, that's what I was gonna tell her.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, baby, I'm an expressor.
Because we still get older. Like, not in the sense, like, of course, I still want you to, like, want me, think I'm beautiful, think I'm sexy. I'm trying to be somebody else.
If I don't like that, hey, I don't like that.
Right.
And, can we change?
Right.
And it helps.
It does. Communication helps. Knowing how to communicate. And then, y'all were younger. Do y'all feel like, how much time we got?
Like 2 minutes, 7 minutes.
When y'all were younger, do you feel like people, I feel like the younger generation loves, you know, how they have that phrase saying, oh, no, you can make me mad like that.
No, I don't want to be talking about that.
I just feel like people are like,
I don't know what
I'm the main chick.
what? The main shit? No.
I like thrive on being someone's, what's it called, a sneaky link?
Yeah. You teaching me something new. What is a sneaky link?
Sometimes it's a side chick or you just link with this person. I really think sneaky link is like the new term for it.
I don't know.
But I think that's what the new term is for like side chick or side dude or whatever. Some people are thriving off of that. They do like toxic, and I don't know.
That's why they gotta come see you right there.
Sometimes
Because they like toxic, and then they come see you, and now they mental health. They always call their mental health, but you want to be some toxic. That term, sneaky link.
you're being sneaky, you got going on.
That's crazy. Listen, I don't need to hear nothing about no sneaky link. That's sneaky link.
I'm with it.
Going on in the world right now to be sneaky linking anything. That's out there.
But they love toxic.
They
Like,
do.
I watch Shade Room on Instagram all the time. Group base, they put them on their soul. But I get exhausted just watching the videos. I gotta be exhausted. But when you got that ball there, and you're able to continue to, you can do it until you crash.
Mm-hmm. So this is what we need to do, where they can find you. Because we're know some of these sneaky links and these tell us how to follow you, how to set up an appointment with you.
Okay, so my social media handles are Facebook, and my Instagram is at _dope_therapist. So at the dope therapist, 2 underscores. You can contact email at cheneka.moss@yourtemplellc.com.
We will add that.
So cheneka.moss@yourtemplellc.com or by 642-773-0256-642-7.
We will have that on the replay, and then when it's posted on the streaming site, you will see all of that. You also make sure you follow us on Instagram at Talk Uncensored, TikTok, Talk Uncensored, We want to thank you for joining us for our first live studio audience show, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.